Good afternoon, commodities traders. This is Arcadia Trading. I'm going to be breaking down our weekly natural gas video, and I'm going to point out a short-term time frame and a longer time frame support and resistance to be looking out for, and the possibility of the price action for next week. And we'll go from the daily time frame right now. So we're looking at last week I talked about us forming a potential equilibrium, and because due to the volatility of size of the move up and down, and now we have pretty much double bottom. You can see the bulls try to defend that area on Tuesday. We bounced, and now we are within that range. So we need to see if it's going to break bear or bull next week. If we do break bear, then it's a confirmed weekly bear flag. So how do I look at the weekly bear flag? So we go to the Fibonacci. And then we go to the low. And then we measure the bounce. So we see this A, this is the top of the move, to the bottom of the move, B. That's how we measure it. And then we looked at this bounce. So this bounce did not go over the 0.382 retracement. If the bounce does not go over 0.382 retracements, it's still in a bear flag territory, meaning, let's say if we bounce over here and then we drop down and then we chop around and then we break, that would be a confirmed bear flag break. So right now we are still in that territory. You can see we did even get over 0.236, and we have been dropping since for the last couple weeks. So if this does break, then it's a confirmed bear flag. But there's a chance where usually sometimes happens in commodities like natural gas, where we have a bear break or a bull break, and then the lax follow through and then just reverses. So that means next week, let's say we get a bear break, and then we just bounce right after that break. So in the morning, let's say we break, and then a lot of volume come in, the bears come in, they try to bring it down a little bit more, and then boom, we reverse. By the end of the day, we have like a bottom wick, and then back above this level. That can potentially happen. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it's just one of the characteristics of natural gas, where it can break either side and then lack follow through. That's what I'll be watching as well, see if that happens. And then for the people that are short-term traders, scalpers, you can look at the 6-hour time frame. One second, let me clear the 6-hour time frame. And so the 6-hour time frame, EMA 12 will be my guide for a potential reversal. You can see this teal looking line. When we were bouncing, this is where it bounced off as well, and now it's acting as resistance. You can see how we have rejected it. So first step for the bulls is get over the 6-hour 12 EMA, and then form an hourly uptrend. So I want to see us form an hourly uptrend. We have nothing going so far. This would have been a nice bounce to try to form an hourly uptrend, but we drop back down to the lows again. So this is a double bottom down here. So the bulls need to hold this double bottom, and it's also the bottom of the previous from the previous bounce. I showed you guys on a daily time frame, and essentially this is a equilibrium. Actually, compare this drawing to the 1 hour. You can see this tightening range. So we are trending up equilibrium, and it's going to break Monday. So you can see this pattern closing in. So Monday, I would say very key. Monday would be the day if we confirm. If this breaks down, it obviously would confirm that weekly bear flag as well. And we break the 52-week low. Yeah, so we'll see if it does break and then lack follow through, bounce back above it, or we both actually hold the area and then we start bouncing. You don't have to catch the bottom. It's hard to catch bottoms for natural gas. You guys can see, let me go back here. See this bounce? Let's say you missed the bottom, right? It bounced, and you're like, oh, I should have got in. And you didn't. You don't have to catch the bottom. You can catch the go to the hourly time frame. It bounces and it pulls back, and then it bounces off again. You can see how many, and then it starts holding the 1 hour EMA. Then you can get in, and then you can just start riding it from here. Let's say all the way up to where this part, where the hourly EMA broke. You can see it broke right here. That teal looking line, you would have gotten a 14% gain. And if you traded Boyle, which is the leverage 2x ETF, so UNG moves up, let's say from here to here, say 14% gain, you would have gotten a 28% gain on your money with a Boyle 2x leverage ETF. Essentially, this moves up 14%, you just times it by 2. It actually moves up a little bit more because it's a leverage. Because every time it stacks up leverage, it compounds the prior of the money. So you probably get like 29 or like 30% roughly if this moves up 14%. So that's what short-term trader bulls, if you guys want to try to catch a bounce, or you actually just, there's a equilibrium pattern, it breaks bull here, and then you get in, and then you set a stop loss back under into this pattern, or you set it under the low. That's up to you, depending on your risk management. Yeah, setup's actually pretty good because you're not risking that much. Let's see how much you'd be risking. Pretty low, 3%, right? 3% is not that bad. And then depending on your capital size, and your upside is a lot more, because you want it to, bulls would definitely want to hold this low, right? This triple bottom low now. Yeah, but essentially you might get stopped out and then come back. Let's say you get in, you put a stop loss under this 52-week low, right? The natural gas just trolls you. It drops below that low, and then you're like, oh, I got stopped out, right? And then it starts bouncing back up, and then we go back up above it. You can just re-add it back here, depending on if you want to re-add it back or not, or you just wait to see the pattern break and which way it goes first, then add. That would be my preferred way to add. But if you're FOMOing, you don't want to feel like you're missing out, then you can add and then put your stop loss and then re-add. It bounce back because of that characteristic that I was talking about earlier, where you can break and then they'll follow through, and then we're back above it again, and then boom. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys on natural gas. And if you guys got any comments or anything you'd like to ask me, put them in the comments, and I'll see you guys on Monday.